And then if you press studio mode at any point, if you turn that off.
Okay, now we can hide that window. This window forever.
This window can get hidden?
Yeah, I think you can.
Yeah, you can just minimize it.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think so. Yeah, because now we only need.
So do I need to hit studio mode again if we go to field stream?
So now, go to the left and go to that field stream. Just click on field stream.
Mm-hmm.
It'll open that left window. When you're ready to go to field stream, you'll hit that transition button that's split between the two middle. You won't click it now, but you'll click it then.
Okay.
And then you can studio mode and go off of this.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool beans. Okay, I think we have it.
Cool. Miguel should know everything from here on out, and Dallas is around too and knows
Okay.
a bunch of that.
Appreciate it, Nick. Thank you so much.
No problem. Talk
Thank
to y'all
you,
later.
Nick.
All right, bye.
Bye.
So we yell into the computer?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're positive there aren't lav mics anywhere?
Yes, we're positive. I know that's not something that was included in there.
Fair.
So we're gonna have two people on either side, or how do you want to do it?
There's gonna be a camera person here.
Yeah,
I
Nelson's
need
gonna
to
have to
run
stand here.
that. It might be easier if you guys just sit next to each other here.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that just is gonna have to be what it happens.
You're welcome.
Sawyer, what are you doing here?
Just some
Yeah,
random,
random
quick things they told us about at the Prowl stream. Don't say bludger, don't say quaffle, don't say
Don't
snitch.
touch it.
Yep. Yep.
And then don't call people by nicknames.
That's good.
If you want, we could grab like the tall chair so someone can sit like right here, so it's closer.
Oh, should we make it
Yeah,
on?
that'd be
There you go. No old words.
Yeah.
All right. The dead names of our sports. We're broadcasting. So we've got
All right,
our,
one
we've got
second,
our
guys.
broadcast deck
Yeah, hold
set
on.
up. So we're going to be streaming through that camera there.
I
And we're going to be
thought
commentating
we
through
thought
the
it would
computer there.
not.
So people online can watch the game.
We're gonna be talking about the game.
Yeah, we're going to keep score. So there's going to be, see that table over there where they have a scoreboard? Sort of that way, yeah, that's where the refs are. So the refs are going to be over there. They're going to adjust the score. So that's for this field, but we don't have access to that score. So the high school that is here has access to that. We don't, because we're renting this space. Yeah. Yep.
What are you supposed to do?
What am I supposed to do? Well, I'm entertaining people online
How do you,
as
what
an
do
announcer.
the players do?
Oh, the players, they score goals. And if you're, and you defend. If you're a beater, you try and beat out other people.
12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 29. This doesn't make sense.
This is my.
Yeah, these
Welcome to our first game. This is the Chicago Prowl versus the Minneapolis Monarchs. Rooms are about to be up here. Starting off, we have Chicago Prowl with possession of the quad ball.
And control.
And control. We have keeper number 31, Riley Andrews here, taking up the ball.
Chicago settling into a diamond approach for offense.
We have an attempt for control from Nathan Podolsky, and then that is a stop by Monarchs. That is no good goal there.
And Monarchs have control of dodgeballs.
That was a good job of the Monarchs staving off that beginning push. There you go. That's back to Ben Zimmett in that back right corner. Prowl in a 2-2 defense as well. Up, that's Max Meyer calling for a screen there. There you go. And that is a good goal for Max Meyer.
And it's first blood for the Monarchs in game 1 of the series. Home crowd is loving it.
But it does appear that the Monarchs, there you go.
They are dodgeball-less on defense here. We're
They
gonna
are.
see what happens.
And that is
It
a
looks
good
like
goal.
retaliation.
Is that by number 31? That was by number 31, Riley Andrews. He said that his first goal is dedicated to Anna.
Chicago to press now.
Also, Max Meyer's earlier goal, he said, is dedicated to spuds everywhere. All right, that's Meyer up there, getting a bit highly pressed by, I believe that's Ali Manzella, back in the corner to Ben Zimmett, and that is a
Fast break from
fast
Chicago.
break. Up.
Appears like that's going to be some back contact for the Monarchs.
It appears a yellow card has been dealt to number 33. That's
Terry
going to be
Carlson.
Terry Carlson. I believe they're going to count that as back contact
Yep.
on that tackle to stop the fast break.
Yeah. They're going to have to swap around headbands here. There must be a green headband keeper on the field at all times. So Sam
Schwartz,
16,
number 16.
is going to take on the keeper position while the Monarchs attempt to kill that.
Oh, that's going to be... Who made that goal?
That was Riley as well.
Riley Andrews with the second goal.
And that goal negated the penalty, or rather the penalty time, so Terry Carlson is back on the field. The yellow card still stands. If he gets 2 more, he will be
And it looks
removed
like
from the game.
Emma Persons has come join us on the field, coming back for the first time from her injury.
Mm-hmm.
And to let everyone know, the Monarchs do currently have control.
Moves down. Refs are deliberating.
Is that going to be...
Blue card on the Monarchs.
That is a blue card on the Monarchs.
Unsure what for.
What's the score?
2-1.
2-1.
2-1.
So current score is going to be 20 for Chicago Prowl, 10 for the Minneapolis Monarchs. Monarchs currently have control of the dodgeballs. And we have number 33, Terry Carlson. Who scored?
Didn't catch who scored there.
Did not catch who scored. It's going to be number 72, Emma Vasquez, carrying that ball up, heads a bit to the back.
Passing around. Beat goes off the field here. Play has not been stopped. Ball passes around up top. Back around.
That's going to be a dodgeball exchange in the back. Both are clear. And we have number 29 here. Nathan Digman making some moves to drive in, but
Passing around. Gold is good.
and that was a goal by
That's Vasquez.
Vasquez.
Score 2-3.
That's going down to number 4 here, getting pressured by dodgeballs. Oh, and that is a wrap pretty far up top. And then a beat on 29.
Monarchs still in possession, taking the ball behind the hoops here. Pass off through the hoops and picked up by Chicago. And now Chicago is on the roll. Chicago has dodgeball control. Cody Narvison throwing back, gets out Nathan Digman, but not before Prowl is able to score there.
And that is a good goal by Melton, I believe, who is dedicating his first goal to his baby-to-be. All right, we have Matt Bissard, number 42 on the Monarchs, carrying the ball up. Currently, who has possession? It is Chicago that has possession. That's Nicole Nelson down there playing for control.
Pass around to Joe Goulet.
And
Shot is no good.
Shot is no good. We have Digman up here. I believe, nope, that
Few
is...
cutters on the wings, but Chicago opts to pass out.
That is actually Ben Peachy that was carrying up the ball there. We have Kennedy Murphy up top with the ball. And then we have a drive in from the Inzoc. Passes to the back. Monarchs still playing for control here. And we have Kennedy Murphy headed in.
Kick away, and a bit of a tussle at midfield.
And that's a brooms down. I believe
Seems
that
like-
was considered kick after beat.
Possibly.
And so it was passed to the next player, or the nearest quad ball player on the Monarchs.
Got a new beater pair coming in for the Monarchs here. Ben Schluter, Meredith McDowell.
Monarchs still currently playing for control here. Meredith McDowell down on the pitch trying to
Beater.
be on beater indeed. That's back to Joe Goulet. Joe Goulet passes back up to Emma Persons, and it goes over midline. And that does go over the keeper line. So we have Chicago poised there, and that is a good goal by, I believe, was that Liam Zock? Was Liam Zock. Liam Zock was dedicating their first goal to Glep from Smiling Friends. And that is an
Intercepted from
interception
Chicago.
by number 18.
They're on a fast break here. Pass off to the wing.
And that's going to
Digman
be...
gets around one defender around. Oh, and Goulet is able to wrap him up. And the Monarchs get a stop.
And that was Terry Carlson, number 33 on the Monarchs, with a stop on defense there. That goal was considered no good. Or didn't get it, so it was no good. All right. Monarchs still playing for possession here. Chicago holding tight to that.
Beat is made.
All right, Terry
No
Carlson
beat
in
is
back.
called.
That's Emma Persons there. Number
Jostling for position, but it seems like number 50 might be getting a card here.
That's a yellow card for number 50, Matt Troy, I believe, for his defense on Addie Skobek there on the Monarchs. Number 18. Now we have a beater poised to beat, but up to Emma Persons, number 3, being guarded by Meredith McDowell, number 36. We have Joe Goulet up with the quad ball.
Goes for a shot, but misses, and the ball goes out of bounds. Turnover to Chicago. Kennedy Murphy walking in the ball currently.
Passing it to Liam Zock.
Chicago changing out their beater pair. They still have control. I believe it is Tad Walters. And
Tad Walters and number 16, Noyes. Noyes Oshra. All right, we have some new scores in here as well. Number 31 joining us on the field, Riley Andrews, who you might remember has scored a couple of goals here. I want to say 2.
Oh, hi, 34. Chicago still with quad ball possession. Deflection by DME as it's rolled on the field. .37 passing the ball around.
Ooh.
Pass after beat, potentially. And a turnover to the Monarchs.
That is a turnover to the Monarchs. And
Monarchs have possession.
Monarchs do have control.
Let's see what they can do with this control and on an offense.
So we have Ben Schluter and Meredith McDowell. Numbers 36 and 55 on Monarchs with the... There we go, dodgeballs. Pass it back to 33, Terry Carlson there.
Ooh, a bit slippy.
Yes,
Ground is slick today.
The field is pretty slick. It was raining all day today.
Joe Goulet dancing around at the top of the key. Passes down to Emma Parsons.
We have a diagonal
Across
throw
the
back to
boot
Terry Carlson.
Through, and it's called no good. The Monarchs have been taking a lot of these shots, and they're going out of bounds, and they're getting turned over to great beating play happening down on the Monarchs' end.
Yeah, we have number 34 on... Ooh. That is a good goal. That is another goal for Riley Andrews, number 31 on the Chicago Prowl.
A new beater core coming out here. A new beater pair, rather.
Did you see that play by the beater back there, though? That was great.
Nathan Podolsky and Naja.
All right, and Monarchs do still have control here. Goes back to Terry Carlson. There we go. That's going to be a good goal by number 3 on the Monarchs. That's going to be Emma Persons, and she is dedicating her first goal to Lindsay Morella.
That was really great passing from the Monarchs. Looked like a spin move and then a shot from Joe Goulet, but it went a little bit low under the tall hoop. Their chaser behind hoops was able to scoop it up and get a nice dish to Emma Persons.
And that was a gorgeous dish by Emma Persons. Great field awareness as well, knowing exactly where to be.
Chicago
All right.
walking up the ball here, passing around to the left wing.
We have Liam Zock up there at the top, passes back, and back up to Zock.
Minneapolis looks to press here.
Oh,
An interesting swat.
That was a swat straight from Liam Zock straight to their beater. That was wonderful.
AR has their hand up. Don't know if the HR has seen yet. Play stops. The refs will deliberate. In MLQ, the rules state that you must make a swat with the first contact of your body. So likely what the refs are talking about right now is whether or not the chaser for Chicago, and it looks like they have ruled that this is the case, initially made contact, or rather the ball made contact with him and then and then they swat the dodgeball. So it was an illegal swat, therefore a dodgeball turnover.
Dodgeball turnover indeed. Earlier in that play, Nathan Podolsky on the Monarchs was playing pretty up high on their chasers. And this continues to be the case, pressing with their team. Oh.
Chicago able to turn around that play.
Shut it down pretty quick there.
Yeah.
But the Monarchs do still have control. That's going to be Naja Melby joining on the field. Number 7.
Chicago able to kill that penalty.
That's Ben Zimmett up top playing pretty high defense. Also, Max Meyer playing some pretty high
Whoa,
defense.
Max
Dodging
Meyer
that.
the dodgeball. Extremely athletic.
That's number 14 driving in there.
And
that is
ref
considered
calling it
no good. Number 14 there, Darian Merzek Ellis.
Both teams have been sort of dancing around at the top of the key and then taking a shot at the medium hoop or the middle hoop. Hasn't been successful for either. Although the Prowl are still up in points.
Mm-hmm.
Crowd in attendance here, starting a chant.
And it looks like there was just some action on the hoops with the beaters.
Ball goes back up top to Emma Persons, passed around to Matt Bassard. Matt Bassard push pass, picked off by Chicago, and now they're on a roll.
And that is a fast break
One beater
there
behind,
from...
Naja makes the beat.
And that was considered no
The
good.
refs are going to talk. One ref is calling it no good. HR is calling it good. HR continues to call it good. Looks like the ball left the player's hands by the time the dodgeball struck.
Considered
that
natural
player.
motion.
Well, so not natural motion, but rather if the ball leaves
Yep.
the player's hand.
So that is going to
Ing?
be a good score by Byron Ing.
Ing.
He says he's dedicating his first score to his sister, who he doesn't think will play the sport. I don't know, maybe she'll look at that and think, man, maybe I should join.
Yes, sure.
That's number 4 up top, and number 3, that's going to be Max Meyer and Terry Carlson passing back to Ben Zimmett and back up to the top. There's going to be a high press there from number 3, Liam Zock. And that's a drive-in. And it looks like the Monarchs still have control here. Control of the dodgeballs. Kennedy Murphy playing a pretty impressive defense there. Pass back up to the top to Max Meyer. Max Meyer calling for a screen there. There we go. Drive in. And
Picked up by
that,
Emma knocked away by Emma Persons, recovered by Chicago.
and that was going to be end of possession by Liam Zock.
Chicago crosses the midline. Monarchs have been playing a high defense, looking to potentially force a turnover at the top.
They've both been playing some pretty high
Yeah.
defenses here. Definitely going for those fast breaks. They have their speedy players up
Ooh,
top.
An errant pass from number 3 causes a turnover. The Monarchs maintain control for their offense here. Score
They
is
do indeed.
7-3 Chicago.
We got some new players coming out here. That is going to be Cody Narvison joining on the field, as well as Sam Schwartz. And that's also going to be Nicole Nelson on the field, tapping out Kennedy Murphy there at the top, giving it back to Terry Carlson in the back, looking to make some moves, passing it back to the top.
Good recovery by Max Meyer, preventing a turnover there. Passes
be-
around to Ben Zimmett.
Ooh,
High press there. Max Meyer beating their defender. Getting a pass off, but the pass is intercepted by
that's
Byron
going to
Ing
be a pile up there.
and a scrum. No beaters around to break this up. Closest beater is a Chicago on So Chicago gets ball. That was an unfortunate offense. Really looked like Monarchs could have scored there.
That's going to be a pretty good dunk by Meyer. And we have some new offense here on the Prowl.
Nathan Digman at the top of the key.
Indeed.
Passing around to Emma Vasquez. Emma Vasquez making a move, passing down behind the hoops. Ball goes back up top to Nathan Digman.
Right over the hoops, kind of a dangerous play, but it paid off.
Tad Walters is posturing, pushing beaters.
And that's going to be a...
Pass over top hoop, right back to Vasquez.
Oh,
Blocked by Meyer.
that was good block by Meyer.
Chicago maintains
Then
control.
beat out by number 5 there, Caleb Williams.
HR is calling that no good. Play on. And a dunk.
And that is
from
going to be
Chicago.
a good goal by
Looks
number
like Peachy.
18, Benjamin Peachy, who said he's dedicating his first goal to his dog, Lucy.
How sweet.
How sweet. Tell Lucy we say hi. Monarchs retain control here. They've had it for quite a while. That's going to be number 0, Cody Narvison and Nicole Nelson.
Score is still 8-3.
Number
Monarchs have
22.
failed to cause a goal here on most of their last possessions while maintaining control. The key is going to be for this team to be able to use control to create a scoring opportunity here.
It's been a lot of driving in for the Monarchs, and sometimes it just doesn't land. That's going to be... All right. That's going to be Max Meyer in the back.
Ball goes out of bounds.
Ball
and it's a
did go out of
turnover.
bounds.
Near save.
And that's going to be number...
Quite a good deal of beater play happening over on the Monarchs bench side. Doesn't look like they have a dodgeball, so Chicago's going to go for a drive here. Nathan Digman continuing to run in. It's a dunk, but looks like he was beat before.
That was a
and
beat
Monarchs
before.
are able to crouch on the ball, and the scrum is successful.
That was a great play by the Monarchs beaters.
It
And
looks
that
like a
is gonna be a
timeout
bring
is
down.
called here. Chicago is amped. They're up in score. Monarchs are down, obviously.
For those who are just joining us, the score is 80 Chicago and 30 Minneapolis Monarchs. What is
19
that
minutes
time? At 19 minutes. We're about to hit the 20-minute mark here. Both teams are playing a pretty high defense because they have some pretty speedy players up top that if they can get that opportunity to fast break, they will do it. And a lot of Chicago players have shown that they can fast break. They've been doing that. But Monarchs has been shutting down quite a few of their offenses. There's been some great defensive plays for the Minneapolis Monarchs, as well as the Chicago Prowl.
Sure. I think the key for the Monarchs here is going to be converting on more of their offenses and limiting the possibility of fast breaks for Chicago. Chicago is a very athletic team. They love to run, and they're certainly running right now. So shooting from behind might not be the best look.
Mm-hmm.
This Monarchs team has been pretty good shooting from up front, but they need to get people behind to rebound,
Yeah.
and they need to be able to communicate that. Because right now they've got players in corners and not shucking balls behind.
Yeah. Monarchs has had control pretty much the whole time too. Or not the whole time, but they've had control for
Good
quite a bit of
majority
time.
of the time, yeah. Both of these teams have really solid beater depth.
Truly. Truly.
A few years ago, the Monarchs were named the best team in terms of beater depth, and then that sort of switched and flip-flopped between the East as well as Chicago.
Looks like the Minneapolis Monarchs are on the offense yet again. They have lost control, actually, of dodgeballs. Nicole Nelson, 22, going back there to try and get that control back.
All
And
pass around to Max Meyer.
Number 4 up top, Max Meyer. Throws it to 33, Terry Carlson. We got a cut back there. Throw back up top. That's going to be Digman up there.
Errant pass causes a turnover, and Chicago has ball. Nathan Digman is walking up here, met by Meyer outside of the keeper zone.
You know, 29,
So Meyer's going to get beat here. Digman's crouching in, takes a shot. Alley-oop. And the score is good.
All right, that is good. That's
That-
going to be...
Was it fine to Peachy?
That was number 18, Ben Peachy. Right behind that middle hoop, just the alley-oop to the dunk.
Yeah.
And you know, Digman was up there trying to do a fast break, but Cody Narvison, number 0 on the Monarchs, was pretty imposing there. Stopped a fast break, but they did still score. That's going to be a beat up top on Vasquez, number 72.
The
Back up
Monarchs
to...
are down 6 now. Our comfort range for most teams is about 3 goals going into flag runner on pitch section. For those just tuning in, our time now is 19:52. Going to be calling last possession here pretty soon. Monarchs probably going to look to draw out this possession, try and get control.
And up to Emma Persons up there, number 3. We're at 20 minutes now. It's going to be
Joe
58,
takes-
59, and that's the 20-minute mark right there. Current score is going to be 90-30, which means that the set score to win is 150. We got both teams talking here in the middle. Fellow commentator, what are you thinking about the game so far?
First 20 minutes has been all Prowl's game here. They've been able to convert on more of their offenses. They've been able to use their possession of both dodgeballs or a majority of dodgeballs. And in the cases that they can't get majority or they can't keep it, they're able to sort of sneakily within the rules get a dodgeball off pitch and press on the offense and confuse the Monarchs. So I think keys for both teams going into this flag runner on pitch. Obviously, both teams want to catch here. Both teams have the ability to catch. Both teams have players that have caught before. The Monarchs especially need this catch, need some points, need to score goals.
Because even if the Monarchs do score, they're going to have to still score another 90 points.
Yeah.
That means they're going to need a really tight defense here versus the Prowl, because I bet they're going to put all that they have on that flag runner.
High point. The offense changes quite a bit for flag runner on pitch, especially when beaters are playing the flag runner, trying to mitigate the amount of chances that each team's what's the new term? Is it still seeker?
Yeah, still seeker.
Okay.
All
Mitigating
right.
the amount of time each team's seeker has with the flag runner. So we'll see if Monarchs feel a little more comfortable in this form of offense, and maybe they'll send out someone to defensively seek as we prepare to get play started here.
You know, I feel like both these teams are really itching for some fast breaks here, so we'll see how each team manages to shut it down during flag runner on pitch when there aren't as many beaters to try and mitigate that.
Yeah, chasers will need to make contact and score goals.
I haven't seen a ton of contact this game, honestly.
Not a ton. It's been pretty reserved.
Has been. Although they've been playing a pretty high defense, it's been a pretty reserved in terms of contact.
Yeah. DME cutting in behind, passes around back.
Kennedy Murphy there in the back. Straight back to Ali Manzella, and that is going to be a good goal by Ali Manzella.
Matthew Bassard with the ball, walking up here. Oh, on the ground. Matt passes to Ben Zimmer, who drops the ball, and Manzella is able to recover. Turnover for Chicago. That's not what Minneapolis needs to see right now.
And by the way, Ali Manzella says that she's dedicating her first goal to Lucy, her dog. And that's a yellow
for
card
Chicago.
on number 14, Darian Mercek-Ellis, indeed.
Turnover of the quaffle to Joe Goulet,
Quad ball.
who's quad ball, sorry, who's immediately going to pass that back to Matt Bassard. Walking it up right next to the beater, though. Bit dangerous. And an errant pass out wide is going to be a turnover.
That was
Seems to be a little bit of action in the seeker.
and it looks like
No one has caught yet.
our seeker on Minneapolis is gonna be Mike Devine, number 13.
Seeker for Prowl. Melton.
Matt Melton, indeed. It's
Very
gonna be number
technical
47.
seeker. Chicago able to put away another goal there on offense.
Yeah, that was Riley Andrews yet again. I believe that's 4 or 5 goals from Riley Andrews in this
Quite
game.
a few. They've been a key player for Chicago this season and in past seasons.
Indeed.
Naja throws a ball back, but Cody is not on broom to go get it.
We got Melton playing a defensive seeker there. Naja Melby shutting that down, giving Mike Devine a little bit of time to try and get that.
Mike's getting quite close. On the offensive side, Joe Goulet goes in and makes a shot.
And
and
that
a
was
score.
a good goal for Joe Goulet, getting there on that middle hoop.
Might have been their first of the game.
It is. Joe Goulet is actually dedicating his first goal to Darian Merzick Ellis. There on Prowl.
Those two were teammates on the Creighton squad a few years back. Passes around for Chicago.
That's number 31 on the side. Riley Andrews again, posing a bit of an intimidating offense there. Number 14 back there, Darian Merzick Ellis again. And that's a good screen by Riley. That's a defense by Joe Goulet, and that goal is considered good. And was that Darian scoring?
Looks like
Oh,
it
that was Ali Manzella.
Possibly a pause of game.
Pin away. Who was that?
Injury sub. That player, number 99 for the Monarchs, is walking off on their own
It's going to be
power.
Zeke Majeski.
Looks like they hit their head on the turf, falling backwards in a bit of a tussle with the flag runner. They seem to be doing okay. Hopefully they are.
They're being inspected by medical currently, but we're able to walk on the field. That's going to be Matt Bassard up there being pressured by the beater and
Offense
throwing.
turns it over to Chicago. Chicago's on a bit of a run here.
That's going to be Matt Bassard with some defense pretty up high on Riley Andrews.
Passes back to Emma Vasquez, posturing in the middle, passes back.
And that's going to be an immediate beat right there.
Vasquez up top, can't go over the midline, and it does.
And that's some good defense by number 39, Ben Zimmett, pushing that dodgeball over the midline in order for a turnover to happen, passing it back to Joe Goulet there. And we return to play. That's going to be a pretty high defense being played by number 3, Liam Zock up there. And
Chicago
running in.
dodgeballs focused continually on the flag runner.
That's Joe Goulet.
1v2, scores the bucket,
And look at that.
and play stops. Looks like maybe Noyes caught for Chicago there. That would put Chicago at 150.
That would be a win for Chicago, and that is
That is
a
a
win
win.
for Chicago.
Chicago comes away with the first win of the series.
And that
1-0.
is Noyes Oshra getting that catch on the flag runner there. Final score is 155 Chicago, 50 Minneapolis.
or just a turnover.
Just a turnover up to Matthew Bassard. Number 42, Ali Manzella.
Passes
Defending
over
high
to
there.
Emma Persons, who
There we
gets
go.
the pass off behind hoops.
And that is going to be
Sam Schwartz is able to get it, but it's picked off by Darren Mercigalis behind Chicago's hoops. And Chicago is off at a leisurely jog, although it looks like a sprint. Charlie Andrews driving in, gets wrapped up, passes off. And Chicago settles into their offense here. Bit of a kite. Ooh.
That's
ball
Minneapolis.
almost goes-
Oh, Jackson Seller going out to that. Number 31 playing a pretty imposing game up there. And that was a good goal. Now we have some new beaters coming out. That's going to be Ben Schluter and Meredith McDowell on the Minneapolis Monarchs. We still got Tad Walters there on Tad Walters and Noyes there for beaters on the Chicago side. Oh, the stream. Can you still hear us?
Yeah, they can still hear you.
All right, so our stream went down, everybody, but we will continue to commentate. That was an attempted score from Minneapolis behind the hoops. There's going to be a stoppage now. Minneapolis threw from behind the hoops, and it went to over midline, so that means that it was a turnover to Chicago. Now Chicago's going to have...
It's going to be a 3-on-1, and Chicago is going to score there.
That is going to score by Marcic Ellis. Or Marcic Ellis. Minneapolis...
Chicago maintaining control here.
Mm-hmm. And that's going to be some new people on the field. We have Melton joining us on the field, as well as Kaylee Fugate. We've got a 2-2 defense here on Chicago Prowl. They're playing a pretty high defense here with numbers 29 and 72 up top. That's going to be Emma Vasquez.
Terry Carlson passes down to Emma Persons, who's behind with Joe Goulet.
That's going to be...
Emma gets wrapped,
That's-
and there's going to be a scrum and a turnover to Chicago Prowl. Prowl with all the energy as they sprint down the field, but Ben Schluter is back at hoops for the Monarchs.
So that is going to be...
Minneapolis was able to make sure that the dodgeballs for Chicago remain on their side of the pitch and get one dodgeball back. So they were able to stop that fast break as the crowd doing their best to pump up the energy of the home team.
And we do have a new beater here on the Chicago side. That's going to be number 5, Caleb Williams.
A beat
And-
is made.
That was no good for Prowl. They attempted to score there from the front. We've got Terry Carlson, number 33 on the Minneapolis Monarchs, carrying it up with Emma Persons. And for those of you who don't know, the score is currently 20 Chicago, 0 Minneapolis. We still got Terry Carlson, not yet at midfield, carrying up that quad ball with Emma Persons. We've got Naja Melby and Nathan Podolsky there on offense for beaters. They still have one, and they're going to be tapping pretty high up there on the defensive chasers. Throwing to the back to Joe Goulet.
Joe Goulet rips a shot, and Terry Carlson is able to dive and stop the ball from going over midline, but he's beat out, and a fast break ensues. And
That's
Chicago
gonna
is
be
able to
number-
score.
29 there. That's going to be Nathan Digman scoring. We have Matthew Bassard joining us here on the field. And again, Minneapolis Monarchs are carrying it up after that great fast break by the Chicago Prowl. That was really fueled by the beaters there on the Prowl.
Yep, and it's another shot from behind the hoops for the Monarchs that gets nobly deflected and temporarily stops a fast break from Terry Carlson, but not enough to put a full stop to it.
Oh, and that's Melton on the hoop, stopping to Ooh, and that is Matthew Bassard being beat there in the back, and there's going to be a fast break led by number 29, Digman.
Rips a shot on the middle hoop and scores.
All right, we have Joe Goulet with the ball. The Minneapolis Monarchs still do not have control as Nathan Podolsky holds the only dodgeball on their team. We have the Chicago Prowl bringing out a whole new line. We've got Kennedy Murphy coming in, Liam Zock coming in. We've also got, I can't see their numbers, but we have Noyes there on beaters, as well as Caleb Williams staying in. They still have control, but Naja Melby is playing against Noyes there for control. We have Caleb Williams playing pretty high up there. Good catch up. That was a good exchange for beaters, but Naja Melby and Nathan Podolsky there, both being beat out. They do have none currently.
Minneapolis ripping another shot from behind hoops and causing a turnover.
That has been their kryptonite this game.
But it looks like it might have deflected off of a Chicago player. So Minneapolis still has possession. Emma Persons walking the ball up. Joe Goulet going down low.
And Samantha Schwartz also going down low there. We got Nathan Podolsky, number 86, challenging up. There we are with Emma Persons with the throw to the back to Joe Goulet. Joe Goulet, number 48, challenging there on the side, throwing to Matthew Bassard.
Passing across hoops.
And that is a good goal by Emma Persons. Emma Persons having a good, again, just really presence there on the hoops, know exactly where to go. And that's a good stop by number 42.
Matt Bassard blocks that shot and brings it down. Now subbing out. Great shift for Matthew Bassard.
Truly.
Joe Goulet with ball.
And that looks like that Seth Swenson is coming there on the field. And it looks like Chicago does still have control of the dodgeballs. Now with Tad Walters, number 34, in the game, joining Noyes. We've got throw up to Ben Zimmett there, and then back up to Joe Goulet up there at the top. Kenny Murphy getting beat out, playing some pretty high defense there, and then getting stopped. We have a fast break. Number 18, Ben Peachy. 18, Ben Peachy there got a pretty good stop on that offense, really getting in between a pass and then getting a fast break. Scores currently 50 Chicago, 10 Minneapolis.
It's lined.
And we have Minneapolis Monarchs playing for control, also playing against a pretty high press on that defense. Ali Manzella playing pretty high and getting beaten out there. We have 39. We have Max Meyer going in there. Attempted a throw, and that is no good. Goes out of bounds, and that's a turnover to number 14, Darian Merzek-Ellis. And that is going to be a pretty fast offense here. Dodging, and that is going to be to Ali Manzellen back for a good goal.
Minneapolis with no dodgeballs back, and Chicago is able to take advantage of that.
But that was Ali Manzel's bread and butter there, you know, really close to the hoops, getting a toss and dishing it there.
And now there's another high press from Chicago. They're taking advantage of Minneapolis, and a turnover is caused down in Chicago's end, of course, which gives Minneapolis some time to prepare.
We have a good beat there by Nathan Podolsky on Tad Walters. Tad Walters going back to the hoops there. Their dodgeballs being pretty far back for this offense. But that's still a good
defense.
That still was a good goal by Chicago, even though they didn't have any dodgeballs.
Yep.
That is going to be control retained by Chicago. And Max Meyer bringing up the ball, throws to Devine over on the side. That's going to be a pretty high defense again by number 31, Riley Andrews. And Ali Manzella. And that's going to be a
Devine with an
throw.
aerial pass.
And that didn't go beyond midline.
HR calling
gonna
that
be-
still Monarchs possession. Max Meyer playing around at the top of the key. Mike Devine with a pass behind.
That's a throw to
Goes to
go back in the
Admirals.
back. And that's going to be number 14, Darian Merzek Ellis, playing a pretty fast offense. And
DME
throwing
with a fantastic
again.
push pass.
That is the second in a row. Just a push pass to the back there. Ali Manzella getting a dish on the hoops.
And an aggressive beater trade from Minneapolis leaves them with still only one dodgeball. Max Meyer outrunning the Chicago beater for some time. Makes a deflection. Oh, but is called beat from the HR. And that's Chicago ball. That goal really would have been an energy boost for this Minneapolis team, which is still 1-7.
1 to
Or
8.
1-8. Excuse me.
You know, I feel like Chicago's really been setting the pace of this game. They have been catching the Monarchs off guard when the Monarchs are on defense, and then really just playing pretty high up when the Monarchs are on offense. We got number 31, Riley Andrews. And that's going to be Mike Devine.
And control for the Monarchs on an offense for the first time in a while in this game.
Let's see how they use it.
This key is going to be for their beaters to be a bit aggressive, but with good timing and pairing with their offense. They can't go too early or too late. As Nicole Nelson is pressed by Chicago beater. Makes a successful beat there.
They're on number 99, Veronica Hoffman.
Ball is down below with Max Meyer. Passes up top to Ben Zimmett. Ben Zimmett passes down to Max Meyer again. Max Meyer and DME facing off. Passes back up to Ben Zimmett. Over to Emma Persons, who rips a shot through middle hoop. And that is called... unsure.
I
Perhaps
saw
a
the goal ref call it good.
Okay.
So that is a goal by Emma Persons.
Chicago passing around,
And that
moving around back. A beat is made. It looked like a beat before,
And that was
the HR is
beat
going to
before
call that as
thrown.
such.
That was a beat by Nicole Nelson there on Minneapolis Monarchs, and getting returned the dodgeball right behind keeper line. Oh, and now it's being moved again. All right, we have a throw to the back there. And we have another brooms down here. I believe it's going to be a dodgeball turnover. I believe this is because Nicole Nelson beat out the quad ball player before they threw the ball to the other player, and they still played on, meaning that the dodgeball was displaced, so they made sure that they got control of the dodgeballs again.
Yep.
We have number 31, Riley Andrews, subbing off for Liam Zock there on the Chicago Prowl. Pretty good trade-off there. Minneapolis retaining control here. Ali Manzella playing pretty high up. And that's a swat from Ali Manzella. That was a good goal. This one from Max Meyer.
Nicole Nelson is able to get that dodgeball back, so Minneapolis has control on defense. Their defense setting up in a 2-2. Seems like they're pressing into a high press, sticky pass. Oh, and the offense is shut down. Mike Devine with quad ball.
And that was Kennedy Murphy just gunning it for those open hoops, but getting shut down by the dodgeballs on Minneapolis Monarchs.
I think perhaps Murphy was confused why the defense shifted from a 2-2 into a sticky mark. but was unsuccessful.
That's Murphy there challenging Ben Schluter. Oh.
Plays
And-
stopped behind
Behind the hoops.
Chicago hoops.
Sam Schwartz, they're getting a ball right behind the hoops and not being able to get it because they got shut down by the defense. That was number 15 or 50 receiving the ball there. It's going to be Matt Troy. Throwing it back up to Liam Zock up there. Defended by number 19, Annie Petrelli.
Minnesota with control.
And that was a nice play by Naja Melby. Ball's going behind. And to number 50 there. Ben Suter with a good lead.
Oh! Wow, what a play.
And that's going to be
Contact from
a
behind.
yellow card for
The crowd is loving it.
And that's Byron Ing getting a yellow card for contact from behind on Emma Persons as she was going to retrieve that quad ball.
Monarchs shifting into their offense here. They have control, but
They
it's
do.
picked off.
By Nathan Digman. Oh. Or that was not. That was Matt Troy actually that had that ball there. Liam Zock bringing up the ball. Minneapolis retains control. Max Meyer playing a pretty high defense there. Kennedy Murphy running it
Looks
in.
like a sticky 2-2. Max known for their incredibly speedy maneuverability.
And that is going
It's
to
gonna
be
be a turnover.
a turnover. Max Meyer is poised, absolutely poised to just take off. Kennedy Murphy's expecting it though.
And no dodgeballs on defense.
And that was a good goal from Max Meyer. You can see,
Timeout.
you can see from, you can see right there when Max Meyer and Kennedy Murphy were at that keeper line, Kennedy knew that Max was going to go for it, and still, he got it through there.
This Minnesota team has been adjusting their defenses throughout the series, and it looks like maybe this 1-1-2 or sort of a high sticky mark with Max Meyer is being pretty successful, being able to pressure Chicago.
Agreed. It's really paying off here on the Chicago Prowl. They are playing a pretty high sticky defense as well, so you can see that they're just adjusting to kind of mirror that, and they can tell that they're trying to utilize their speedier players up top so they can get those fast breaks.
What we mean when we say sticky is that the individual who is marking the offensive player on defense is sticking to that particular person. So Max is actually not necessarily sticky because they're bouncing around, but if you've got a really fast player or a very dominant player on one team, you might have one defender stick on them.
All right, that is the end of the timeout. And I believe they did that so they could sub in some new players. I think I see Jackson Sellner joining us on the field here.
Fresh legs.
Indeed, fresh legs. We've got Naja Melby and Ben Schluter here on the Minneapolis Monarchs, still getting that dodgeball control. You see right there, Emma and Max are at midfield with a beater right in front of them with a dodgeball. Getting intimidated by it.
Chicago
That's going to
doing
be,
a partial line switch. Ben Peachy entering the field.
and that's Tad Walters up there, just really being imposing before their offense comes on the field. Number 20, Kaylee Fugate comes and throws that to Nathan Digman up at the top.
Peters go
That's
for a
gonna
trade, and Minneapolis loses it. Chicago is going to have control in a second when their beater gets back into the play. Until then, Chicago is content to pass around up top of the key. Chicago trading out their beaters actually with a new beater coming in to help Tad Walters. Now they have control on offense. They're going to create a way for their players to potentially score here, passing around back up to Nathan Digman at the top of the key.
But Minneapolis has a pretty good defense there. They managed to
Ben
stave
Schluter
them
able
off.
to steal a dodgeball, and Meyer wraps up Digman, and a beat is made, and a turnover. Oh, turnover is made. Fast break was there, but it looks like some sort of card call stops the fast break and
Oh,
allows Chicago to gather their thoughts for a second.
That's Haley Fugate. And we have Max Meyer poised to get that fast break, but it's being turned over.
Looks like they're going to have to go back to their eligible position
Or their keeper zone.
Keeper zone, yeah. Probably best for them as Tad Walters was positioned with a dodgeball there. But they have some protection, and now Ben Schluter is able to get control for them. And misses a beat on Tad Walters, unfortunately. Running to the sideline, does not get there fast enough. Oh, it is called white dodgeball. Schluter maintains control for the beaters for Minneapolis. Ball is up top. Max Meyer passing down below to Jackson Sellner. Sellner passing back up to Max Meyer.
And here you can really see Minneapolis is setting the pace of this specific offense. They have both dodgeballs. They're playing it cool, controlled. Jackson Sellner getting there on hoops, really challenging right there on the hoops. And that is considered no good. Possession is
no good.
Possession of the quad ball is lost. And they are making a break for it there on offense.
There's no dodgeballs back
Number
for
18.
Minnesota, and 18 is just going to run through the defense.
And that is good for number
Boy, that's
18.
peachy.
Ben Peachy.
Ben Schluter subbing off for Nathan Podolsky.
Nathan Podolsky and Naja Melby right there.
Jackson Sellner carrying up the ball for the Minneapolis Monarchs. Crosses midway. Meredith McDowell in for the beater. Unarmed beater for Minneapolis.
And making a first appearance on the field is OB. Sorry.
It's OB.
That's going to be a blue card for number 72.
Walters.
Number 72 is getting a blue card.
Ah.
And dodgeball controls turn over to number 86, Nathan Podolsky on the Minneapolis
Or it looks
Monarchs.
like just that dodgeball. The Monarchs still do not have control, unfortunately. Jackson Sellner posturing up top of the key, passes down to Alexander O'Banner, passes back up to Jackson Sellner, makes a move on Digman.
And that is
Unfortunately,
no
the shot is
good.
no good. Chasing down the player. Oh, and it looks like that might be contact from behind. Sellner protesting. Seems like they think maybe the Chicago player jumped a bit, embellished, but the ref is going to call it the way they're going to call it.
That's number 45, Jackson Sellner, with a yellow card for contact from behind. Ball being passed up to Digman, who's carrying it down with a pretty fast offense, because that is going to be an uncontrolled. Oh, there you go. There were no dodgeballs in the play for the defense there, so Digman was really able to rip it on that middle hoop. That's going to be OB there, carrying the ball up. And the Monarchs do not have control currently. They have Meredith McDowell and Nathan Podolsky there in the field. Emma Persons throwing it there to OB.
Ball going
And that is
over the head of the Minneapolis chaser, and it's going to be a turnover and a timeout for Chicago. 20. Oh, that is 20.
Oh, that
minutes.
is 20.
All right. Going into this flag runner floor, what are the things that each of these teams are going to need to do here?
Ooh, that's a really good question. I think that Minneapolis has been playing a pretty chill game. They've been able to, I think, keep their heads on a lot more this game, play it pretty controlled, have some really good passes that are really landing towards each other, which I think is they're improving from the last game. They're learning, I think they're adjusting pretty well here. They're learning how to make their defense so that they're able to adjust pretty well to Chicago's offense. What are you thinking that Chicago has to do?
I think Chicago needs to remain consistent. A few of their offenses have been turned over because they tried to do a little too much. I think their basics and their fundamentals have been really solid all series long. They're ahead in points. So theoretically, they should just need to just keep doing what they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, Chicago playing pretty aggressive on all fronts here, and I think that it's paying off for them pretty well. They've been setting the pace of this game. Minneapolis Monarchs, you know, that I think at the end of the game, they really retained that kind of pace, that kind of control, and they had both their dodgeballs back, as they really weren't playing with control for much of the first half of the game here. We've got Kennedy Murphy getting on the field here. Number 29, Nathan Digman getting on the field here. Got Darian Murdzick Ellis as well. Jackson Selner getting back there. We got OB here on the field. Emma Persons. We've got newcomer on the field, Colby Narvison, subbing in. I believe that is also Naja Melby. And then we also have number 6 for Chicago here, Harold Advincula. I'm not sure I've seen him yet. Welcome to the field. We've got a pretty aggressive offense here and being handed over to OB. That was a nice defense there, shutting it down pretty fast. Jackson Selner getting off the field, subbing for Matthew Bassard. Cody Narvison getting a pretty good tap beat there.
Joe Goulet is seeking for the Monarchs here. Dancing around the Chicago beaters, trying to get a good look in. Matt Melton seeking for Chicago.
We have Matt Melton kind of playing a defensive secret here. That's a score for the Minneapolis Monarchs.
Matt Bassard. Joe Goulet dives and comes off broom. And OB looking to play strong defense, but a pass comes off. Stop and play for potentially a card. Contact from behind. OB may have initiated contact from the front, but perhaps re-engaged contact from behind. So that's going to be a yellow card.
And I just wanted to say that Matthew Bassard wanted to dedicate his first goal to his mom, Linda. His mama, Linda.
Contact from behind, yep. Now it's going to be turned back over. Chicago.
But luckily for Minneapolis Monarchs, they do have Naja Melby beater right here on the field, so they have more defense than people usually do on flag runner and pitch.
They've split their beaters, but now Naja is focused on the seeking game, and DME is going to run in for a tackle. Oh, bit of a scuffle and a fall.
It's going to be a fall on Matthew
But,
Bassard,
yeah,
number
Bassard gets up.
42.
No problem.
But is that a broken hoop, I see? Mayhaps a broken hoop.
Contact. Manager went for the Monarchs, coming out with a clutch connector piece.
Being prepared right away, may I add. That's what I call service with speed and a smile. And lucky for the flag runner, they have their hands on their head, really catching their breath there, as we've got a pretty fast-paced flag runner game going on here. The Seekers are not giving him any time to let up.
That goal is good.
Goal is
from Chicago. Ball turned back over to Minneapolis.
We've got the game going right back in it. Milton is not afraid to just dive in there because he knows he has just a couple of seconds to try and go for that flag runner without being interrupted. Ooh.
Joe Goulet is beat off of the flag runner as the Monarchs continue to press an offensive. The Chicago beater makes a really smart tap there to cut off the passing option, creating a turnover.
Number 99, Veronica Hoffman, playing a very smart play there, beater. She just managed to,
Monarchs
split her attention really well.
A high defense, but DME is able to capitalize on that scoring very successfully.
Set score is 160, by the way. Chicago's at 120. Monarchs are at 50.
Monarchs looking to score a little bit more, get more points than last game.
We have a pretty intense beater play as well here, right on the flag runner.
Looks like natural motion to get the pass to Ben Zimmett, with Emma Persons behind hoops, and a catch potentially from Matt Mountain.
And that's going to be a stoppage of play as they deliberate whether or not that was a good play for the flag runner.
The catch is good.
Well,
Looks like the HR was motioning potentially. Keep you posted.
the flag runner
Yes.
did put the flag back
Catch
on.
was good.
Catch was good.
Chicago now at 150. Pass back around to Max Meyer on an offense. Takes a shot, no good.
And that is going to be
Now
a fast break.
DME quick moves.
And I believe that is game.
And that is the game. Nicole Nelson for the Monarchs making a valiant beat attempt there. But Chicago wins the series 2-0. The third game is up in the air due to the rental time on the field tonight.
I believe they'll be able to do it.
Perhaps, yes. But that is a Chicago win on the series with 2 games, 0. And we'll see you back for the third game.
And
Welcome to game 3. We are in a series of 3, currently in the 3rd game. The score has been 2 Prowl, 0 Minneapolis Monarchs in terms of winning games. Seems as though Prowl is coming away with both quadball control and dodgeball control.
Ben Peachy again being used for their speed to get control as well as quadball. And an
That is a
initial
good score.
goal for the Prowl.
By 31.
Riley Andrews.
Riley Andrews indeed.
Alexander O'Banner carrying up the ball for the Monarchs, passing off to Matt Bassard. Riley Andrews cheating out, potentially trying to guess the pass. Pass does come across for OB. As a beater trade is made.
We have a drive in here by Matthew Bassard, stopped by Ali Manzella with a pretty good defense. And that's
Deflection from Manzella, and it's a turnover, and Chicago is on their way.
Number 14, charging there, Darian Merzick-Ellis. And that's going to be Ali Manzella with the dunk there.
Great pass off to Manzella there. Chicago's bread and butter when they're comfortable. Their beaters have made this situation possible. Another beater trade, and Minnesota has no dodgeballs again. They're really going to need to put some pep in their step. A pass is successfully made, and a second one to Anna Nelson.
We have a dodgeball going towards Anna Nelson. They're going to have to play pretty chilly here.
Passing across to Matt Bassard.
There we go with Matt
Makes a
Bassard.
move on DME. One move, another move, and a successful goal.
But
along with a ref call.
I did see a chunk of plastic fly out that middle hoop, and I do see a dislodge.
Got a great camera angle on that. Matt Bassard,
And look at that.
big person, trucking through, taking some neck contact as well, it looked like. And we'll wait for the ref crew to discuss.
And that's going to be...
Sorry. We may need to get some replacement parts for this.
But that is going to be a great toss from Anna Nelson to Matthew Bassard for that drive in there to the middle hoop.
Good assist.
Good assist. And then Gwen Elledge, the manager, making a pretty good move there right away with the connector.
Call on the play is going to be a neck contact.
Is it?
I'm sure, yes, but I
don't. Was it negated?
I think it was negated by the goal.
Gotcha.
And Minneapolis is up, but Chicago's on a fast break, and a goal.
That is going to be a goal by, again, 31. Riley Andrews just charging in there.
Chicago settling into their high press here. Minneapolis is going to need to do quite a lot to prevent. Bench leader needs to get hand up.
We have a really high press by Tad Walters. Throwing it over, is that Joe Goulet?
Joe Goulet ripping a shot in quotations. That goes out of bounds, preventing fast break, potentially. Chicago looks like they're posturing. Bench Schluter with a dodgeball back on defense. Looking ready to stop any aggression. DME for Chicago circling around back. Caleb Williams coming into the play as a beater.
And we have Joe Goulet going out back to meet DME. If you do remember, Joe Goulet dedicated his first goal to DME back there. Pretty good friendship there. And
rips a shot over the hoop, no good.
But it doesn't go out of bounds. It's
Merzick-Ellis has ball. Passes up to Manzella.
Passes up to number 77, Melanie Rolfe.
Rolfe pump fakes once and passes off to Andrews.
Number 31. Pretty dangerous up there at the top. Again, trying to up. And that is OB. Really wrapping him up there.
OB comes off broom.
And that is...
pass is made.
No good because of a beat.
No good beat before. And it's a turnover for the Monarchs.
That's
saving grace. As there's not a whole lot that you can do when Merzick-Ellis is up in the air.
Except for
Get
Yeah,
your hands
there
up and
with-
hope to stop.
and
And Rolf picks that pass off, and Mercic Ellis darts out of the way of Goulet. Takes a look at the field. Jogging forward, though, Podolsky is on defense with a dodgeball for the Monarchs.
that was a
Andrew.
pretty quick turnaround for defense.
Certainly not a long possession, not what the Monarchs want to see. Andrews with the ball, passes off. Quick pass to Mercic Ellis, and they score.
We got OB right there with the ball.
Score is 40-10, Chicago. Pretty low scoring so far.
And we have Emma Persons here on the field again, number 3. She has scored in each of the games that she's played so far.
Mm-hmm.
Bringing up that ball. Really proven that she is coming back from her injury here.
Coming
Welcoming.
back strong.
Indeed.
She's been a stalwart for this Minneapolis team. Her coaching presence as well has been extremely impactful this year.
And that is control for Minneapolis Monarchs with a great double team on offense, but that is a turnover as a faulty pass to OB was passed. That's going to be Bryn Gustafson joining us on the field here,
For the Monarchs.
number 26. And that's Jackson Sellner coming back on the field, number 45.
Matt Felton with the ball for Chicago.
Ooh, and that is a good... that is Caleb Williams getting a ball after Nathan Podolsky threw another ball at number 17, Michael Merriwick.
Melton drives in, but the ball is deflected. Emma Persons is off broom, and now Digman can drive. Digman maxed up with Jackson Sellner and rips a shot.
And that
And the
is...
call. Broom's down. Refs are going to deliberate, potentially.
That was Jackson Sellner, number 45 in the Monarchs, doing some great defense there on Digman, as it's pretty hard to stop that.
Looks like no goal. Goal is no good. Turnover
To Joe Goulet.
to Joe Goulet.
And now Monarchs can really set it up. They have control here. Ball was turned over to them. They can play it pretty chilly as they're bringing the ball up here. They can get a pretty good control of what's happening. Although it looks like their defensive beaters are really trying to get control. They're pretty poised for it. Making a play for Podolsky there.
Podolsky drives in, makes a tap beat. Jackson passes off to Persons. Pump fakes once, passes back to Emma, who passes off to Joe Goulet, making that one-hand catch look easy. Buttery smooth.
We got Naja Melby hitting number 72 up there, passing back to Goulet. They're really closing in here, the Minneapolis Monarchs. And that is no good. Gonna pass over the line. That is going to be end of possession.
Shot is taken, and beater play is going to shift around here. A beat is made. Caleb Williams cleaning up shot, kicking a ball, potentially going off pitch. But no call is made.
We have Melton up here with the ball, and they were playing pretty high on defense there with Nathan Podolsky leading the charge, but that was no dice. Now we have number 29 up here. That's going to be Nathan Digman bringing it up with Noyes, number 16, defending him. Ooh!
Matt Melton gets pushed out of a screen, and Jackson Sellner goes for some sort of contact. Might be a jersey pull there. Melton rips a shot, and
That is good. That was a
have their hands up. Gonna talk with the HR potentially about any penalty there, but any penalty called would just be negated by the goal. So HR will probably, especially with this series already having been won by Chicago, probably leaning on the side of letting the kids play. Joe Goulet with the ball on the left wing here. Passes back up to Emma.
And we have a pretty advantageous defense here. Nathan Podolsky hitting them up top there.
Naja's beat out. Pass is made.
Yeah, that's Melby, number 7.
Emma takes a shot behind. And it's turned over to Chicago. Chicago on the run now. Matt Melton subbing out. Great shift.
With a pretty speedy run to that offense.
We've got Digman running down the right sideline here.
And would you look at that? Kennedy Murphy's running after it. Bryn Gustafson really getting up there, but getting
Tapped out.
tapped out right up there at the hoops.
Pass made. And a quick pass over the hoops. Digman pumps once, drives in, and dunks.
But goal ref is signaling that no good.
Brooms down. Refs are going to confirm.
That was quite a few pump fakes for Nathan Digman there, going through at least 3 people on defense.
Looks like ref is calling it no good.
No good.
Perhaps having to do with the beat made earlier on in the play to get the quad ball up top for Nathan Digman. Looked like it might have been a beat before pass.
And looks like we have a pretty speedy attempt for control here.
Some contact in the beater play might be getting penalized, and it's going to be Tad Walters going to the box for contact when neither player had a ball. Looks like it might have been incidental, but it's going to be a yellow card.
Tad
HR
Walters.
keeping the game safe, keeping things under control.
And it looks like that is going to be dodgeball turnover as well for the Minneapolis Monarchs.
See how the Monarchs can use this, creating a lane for their chasers to run in and score. Nathan Podolsky clearing a lane, but the Monarchs hesitate a little too long. Can't make use of it.
We have Jackson Selner playing pretty aggressive here on their top chaser, Luke Zach.
Passes made behind to Joe Goulet. Now a pass to Jackson Selner.
Jackson Selner poising here, yeah.
Passes up to Emma Persons.
We have Nathan Podolsky coming back in the play. Minneapolis Monarchs continue to have control. Let's see what they do with it here. There's a couple good beats here on the offensive side. And that is no good. Bryn Guffs. Oh, there we go. That is going to be Luke Zock up with the ball. Getting defended by Joe Goulet.
Pass made to Kennedy Murphy.
And that is a good goal.
Shot. That's great passing from Chicago. Laddering the ball down the field with their players, drawing attention from defenders. Textbook stuff.
Kennedy Murphy dedicating her first goal to her grandma.
Minneapolis with dodgeball control and the quad ball. Emma Persons passing off to Max Meyer, his first shift in a while.
Yeah, welcome Max Meyer to the field up here at the top.
Couple passes around. Minneapolis in a bit of an umbrella situation, although Joe Goulet has not shifted down low, and so their pass options are limited from behind.
We have Kennedy Murphy here playing some good defense, and the person's throwing it up there. We have Max Meyer
shifting into.
Ooh. And that is some.
That's some contact from Zock, and it's going to be a fast break from Chicago. Peachy running the other way and scoring. Chicago running away with this one.
That is going to be Ben Peachy scoring there.
The refs are deliberating up top.
That was a pretty hard hit for Myers there from Zock. And what is that? It's going to be a
dodgeball turnover. It may negate the fast break goal. We'll see. Perhaps not, though.
Regardless, the Minneapolis Monarchs do now have control. Naja Melby just speeding past them, trying not to get beat there.
Chicago is doing a really good job of reading the pass options and cheating out from their hoops.
Mm-hmm.
I think Minneapolis needs to do a better job of pump faking a pass and ripping a shot potentially. Although these shots have not been very successful, although, wow, what a great pass.
That was a great pass, Emma Persons.
Amazing catch, too. Meyer pumps, passes off
Zimmet's
to Ben
back.
Zimmett. Zimmett
And that is
rips.
good for Ben Zimmett.
And the ball crosses midline, so that's going to have to be taken back at the keeper zone.
That
That's
was
the kind of thing that Minneapolis wants to be doing. A lot of their shots have been missed, but if you make that successful shot and the ball goes past the midline, the team cannot fast break. The defensive team, cannot fast break. So
And that was some great collaboration from the Minneapolis Monarchs as well.
that's the look they're going for. Chicago passing around as Nicole Nelson goes out back to look at that. It's going to cross the midline, but it's going to be a turnover. Pass over Meyer's head, though Meyer is able to get a piece of it, but a kick is not going to translate to possession.
And I
And
do
the
want to.
Chicago Beaters have control.
That was a really good look by Zimmett to Meyer, though, but there was a beater right there by Meyer, so he knew he had to get it out pretty fast, and that was it just happened to be into the other team's defense. I do want to say that Zimmett wanted to dedicate their first goal to Alex Jabberpore.
Chicago passing around behind the hoops, getting it to Mercick Ellis.
Joe Galoo playing some pretty good defense there, as well as Ben Zimmett playing some good defense, and that is going to be...
Andrew pumps, and it's called a good goal. Refs are going to deliberate for a second.
That was a
Goal is going to be good.
360 throw over the shoulder kind of goal.
Plays resumed.
We have
Back
Meyer
here
with the ball up,
Being pressed by a beater, number 6 for Chicago.
but that was a good by Goulet just defending Max.
Body block.
Indeed. We got an umbrella with the Monarchs here with Sam Schwartz playing up here at the top. That's going to be a good goal by Max Meyer. Meyer being a pretty high scorer on the Minneapolis Monarchs.
Certainly.
And that is going to be number
Andrews running it
31,
down.
Riley Andrews.
Makes a clean cut. Passes off. Pass goes over the hoops. Beat is made. Andrews back with possession. Running around 3-4 defenders.
Ooh,
Some high contact there from the Minneapolis Monarchs, but Andrews still has possession. Finally stripped. And we're going to see a turnover for the Monarchs. Max Meyer running away.
but that is some pretty
Here.
good sportsmanship by Riley Andrews, helping up the opponents.
Max Meyer running it all the way back for a goal.
There we go. That's 2 in a row for Max Meyer.
Potentially some dodgeball interference here. Yellow card.
Yellow card on Nicole Nelson, number 22 on the Minneapolis Monarchs. We have Mike Devine here on the field now for the Minneapolis Monarchs. And let's see who has control here.
Looks like it's going to be Chicago
Chicago has control.
and Quadball passing it off to number 77. Is that Rolf?
All right.
Rolf pumps once back to Andrews on that left wing. He passes around behind. Manzella.
Getting into
Manzella to
number
Mercick
14.
Ellis. Mercick Ellis passing back up. Chicago player passes across the hoops.
And we have number 4, Meyer, playing pretty high up here, and they don't have a beater up there to really get him out in any way. You have Mercick Ellis there with the ball on the side, defended by Ben Zimmett, playing a pretty solid defense there, making sure that Mercick Ellis can't make a position towards the hoops because he will drive for it.
Zimmett staying pretty conservative, although getting a little close here.
Yeah, we have Cody Narvison there, beater on the hoops, making sure, keeping an eye on that ball there. Ready for any pass options as well. Number 31, Riley Andrews.
Passes back around up top. Andrews again with the ball. Mercick Ellis behind the hoops, ready potentially for an alley-oop here. Looking dangerous. Well, they don't need it. Chicago scores.
That was number 77, I believe, Melanie Rolfe. Melanie Rolfe wanted to dedicate her first goal to Pookie, aka Josh Johnson. All right, we've got Nicole Nelson out of the box and also with a dodgeball as Minneapolis has regained control. They're here on defense.
Chicago passing back around.
That's going to be
DME.
Nicole going out, hitting.
Nicole makes a beat behind hoops. Riley Andrews with quad ball up at the top of the key, moving around, guarded by Zimmett, decides to back out.
And we have Narvison beating up there.
Max Meyer with the ball, passes back to Zimmett. Still clear though, and Zimmett drives in. Not a look there though. Minneapolis unable to score. It looked like a pretty free opportunity.
However, they do still have dodgeball control and are playing pretty imposingly here on offense.
Oh, some strong contact.
Oh, and that is.
Top of the key. And the refs are going to talk about this one. Max Meyer collecting themselves.
That was some pretty intense contact when they didn't have the ball.
It's going to be a yellow card. Andrews.
Like we said earlier, this game has been pretty good with contact. Not much on the scrappiness level, but...
I didn't catch the full contact, but I'm thinking that player may have left their feet for that tackle, which would make that illegal.
I do also think that contact was sustained after Myers the ball left his hands.
That could be especially difficult if you make some sort of tackle. Unfortunately, a goal not able to be made there.
A valiant attempt by Sam Schwartz right there on the hoops.
Great hoop defense from Chicago, though.
It was.
Mercick Ellis with the ball. Help with their beaters around up top. Ball comes back up to Mercick Ellis.
And that's number 4, Meyer, playing pretty high up there again.
Gonna get beat just out of their zone, but still back up to guard Ellis.
That's a pretty high defense here. Pretty good defense, keeping Mercick Ellis right up there past towards the midline. That's them pushing them back pretty far towards the midline as well. And that's some good defense by Sam Schwartz there on the Minneapolis Monarchs, getting it to Mike Devine, and then getting it back up to Meyer.
Chicago was able to kill that penalty power play pretty successfully by passing around. Wasn't able to convert there, but still pretty good.
We have Anna Nelson and Addie Skoback joining us here on the field for the Minneapolis Monarchs as Myers throws to the back of the field to Mike Devine. No
Pass
goal.
to Mike Devine. Mike Devine getting the ball out pretty quick, but unable to convert there.
And that's going to be a good beat, and that is going to be Mercick Ellis going for the ball. That was a very good attempt at a beat for the Chicago Prowl, but then it was a beat for Mike Devine. No dice there on a high press fast break. We have a screen from Kennedy on Meyer.
Murphy passing the ball back behind to Mercick Ellis. He passes it right back up. Murphy driving in, passes it out. That's Peachy at the top of the key.
And we are currently at 18:53. We're about to hit the 20-minute mark here. And that was
ripped, no good. Mercick Ellis passes around to Peachy. Peachy drives in, passes back up.
Zach
drives in, gets it to Mercick Ellis, who pumps twice.
And that's some good defense. That's Kennedy Murphy there, throwing it to number 3. And that's a good goal for Zach.
Zach puts one swim move on. The refs are going to talk about this, potentially some contact on the defensive side.
That was a pretty good shot there. Kennedy Murphy realizing that Zach was in a position to really attack that defense from the side, so she threw it. It was a pretty good press or drive there.
Goal was good.
And I believe that any calls that could be made by the refs is going to be negated by that good goal.
Well, the penalty time served would be negated, but they could still have made some calls. They didn't make any there.
We have Divine and Nelson coming off the field, being subbed in. And we have Meyer up here playing a pretty high defense against Zoc, as Zoc really charges in here. And that's going to be a good stop by Addie Skobek.
Great defense from Addie. As Byron Ing is in the game for the first time in this game. Could be wrong, I believe.
And we have Kennedy up top here playing pretty chilly.
Over to Peachy. Peachy rips a shot. And the goal is good.
The goal is good.
That's going to be
20 minutes.
Chicago 100, Minneapolis 40.
What are we thinking about this game?
This looks to be a bit of a repeat of the past two games. Minneapolis even down 1 goal from the past 2. They've ended both of their previous games at 50 goals, I believe.
And now set score to win is 160.
160. Yeah.
I really liked some of the offenses here on Minneapolis Monarchs, though, playing really fluidly with a lot of chemistry. There's been a lot of really quick throws. It's just been the Prowl isn't afraid to play a pretty aggressive defense and take control of the game.
Sounds like they're doing some raffle winnings here.
Everyone on stream, if your number is 502014, you've won a jersey. But I don't think that's possible.
Hey, jersey. Some people going home with a jersey tonight. Happy for them.
Prowl here with a little chant of "Hear Me Roar." We got players returning to their rooms here at the 20-minute mark.
Play resuming here.
Oh, sorry.
Minneapolis with Quadball. Max Meyer specifically carrying it up.
And who do we have seeking here?
Going to be Matt Melton and Mike Devine once again. Seekers are released.
We have Emma Persons with the ball thrown up to Max Meyer. We got Kennedy Murphy here looking pretty good here on defense. And Emma Persons with a shot in.
That's good.
Beautiful goal by Emma Persons there. But
Matt Melton running to the wrong hoops.
And that
Some would say that's a sign of age.
Hey, no cheap shots. No cheap shots.
Hey, we lost the series. I gotta get my cheap shot. Love you, Gramps. Matt Melton continuing to play. That's a friendly fire beat. That's a beat from Meredith McDowell as Meyer drives in. No good. Good hoop defense from the Chicago player.
And that is no good again.
No good again.
But that is
Persons saves the possession, but no player is there.
And that throws it to number 31, Andrews.
Some contact, but
and that was running pretty straight through Persons, but Andrews does help Persons up there. Love the sportsmanship from Prowl today.
We've got getting a lot of time with this flag runner, Mike Devine, who caught 3 times last year at MLQ Nationals, having a bit of trouble this year. Matt Melton getting beat out as the Monarchs continue to.
Emma Persons poised there behind hoops, throws it to Max Meyer, who gets a shot. That was
good.
A beautiful look from. And that is it.
the score to 12-8. 12-9. Excuse me. If the catch is good, we would have a game on our hands. Seems like I just need to badmouth Mike Devine, and then he'll perform pretty well.
We have Cody Narvison here talking to Devine, possibly about whether or not it's good. And it appears catch is no good.
We call that no good. Perhaps some interference. Mike Devine's going to start off broom.
It seems as though the flag runner ended up on the ground. Could be that it was a
Might have been pushed. Might have been tripped. Some maybe turf monster caught them. But the age-old saying is, if you can do it once, you can do it again.
Indeed, indeed.
Or Gramps will beat you to it. Actually, it's Noyes out there right now. Play is stopped for dodgeball going off pitch. It's the first time the entire series.
Oh, and if you saw it up there, that is Max Meyer, I believe, with a yellow card. Number 31, Andrews and Meyer were playing a pretty intense game there on defense and offense, really kind of squaring off, but Meyer ending up with the yellow card. Now we got 3 on defense with a pretty aggressive offense. We got Kennedy Murphy coming in here with a good goal.
A good goal. Flag runners running away from Mike Devine. Seth. Oh, no, is that Matt Bissard with the ball?
That is Matt Bissard with the ball.
Matt Bissard running down pitch. Has Emma Persons down below. Passes to Emma.
We got Bryn Gustafson right there in back. Although it goes diagonally.
This is over the hoops. Bryn jostling to pick up control, loses it in a one-on-one to Peachy, who sees some beaters ahead and chooses an alternate path, passing it all the way over
to 29.
That's Nathan Digman. Nathan Digman postulating with the ball, running through the center, passes it off to Peachy. Peachy with the shot. Blocked.
That is no good.
And play is stopped before Zach could make any attempt. It looks like Noyes may have caught there.
That was a good stop, though, by Matt Bissard there on defense, seeing that ball was headed straight for the hoops. And that is a no-good catch.
That's no good. The crowd here pretty excited to see some more quad ball. Or maybe they're just happy that the Chicago's first catch got called no good, just like the Monarchs.
And by the minute, I can imagine this flag runner is getting more and more tired. We have...
Yep, definitely more susceptible, some 50-50s.
Yeah, and that is going to be Minneapolis Monarchs here with possession and Chicago Prowl just getting a goal there. It's going to be...
Chicago able to make a beater play.
And that is a good beater play for Prowl.
For Monarchs.
I was saying this flag runner might be a little fatigued, but they are looking just as good as the beginning of the game.
Looking pretty good. Noyes looking very good.
We've got
runner on my butt again. Max Meyer.
Meyer with a good goal, but that is going to be a fast break here by Nathan Digman.
Who shots it through.
Shoots it through almost to the...
Could be a delay of game.
Oh.
Perhaps an injured player.
We gotta give a shout out to the flag runner.
Matt Bissard.
Their name is Matt Fiebig.
OB subbing in as an injury sub for Matt Bissard. think they're going to call that goal still good.
Meaning that the score is currently 150 Prowl, 70 Minneapolis. And that's going to be set score of 160. That's going to be Nathan Podolsky there with a bludger.
O'Banner with quad
Dodgeball.
ball. Being pressed by Beater, picked off.
By Liam Zock. And that's going to be a fast break there again by Digman. Throwing it back.
Peachy, but potentially a catch by Noyes. Once again, this one looks pretty good. I would be surprised. And if it wasn't that catch, then it was.
And that is a
It
good
was
catch.
So
That
that's-
is game.
That's the series, folks. 3 Chicago, 0 Minneapolis.
That's 185 Chicago, Minneapolis 70.
Thank you for joining us this series. And have a great rest of your night.
Have a wonderful evening, everyone. See you next time.